Hello crypto traders, this is Matthew with Crypto Traders Pro. Today we're going to be going over tip number 4 of our How to Grow a Small Cryptocurrency Trading Account series. Tip number 4 is going to be focused on don't hold. In this video, I'm going to give some examples of why holding is not necessarily the best strategy when you're trying to grow a small account. So before we jump into this video, I want to encourage you guys to go over to Facebook and join the Crypto Traders Facebook group. We have discussions every single day regarding the cryptocurrency markets and news surrounding them. So let's jump right over to the charts and let me explain what I mean by don't hold. So let's look at TRON for example. This will be our first example today. And TRON has a lot of hype behind it. I've talked about it in the past. We've done it as our coin of the week. I've made a lot of money off TRON just trading it. But when you get into that hold mentality, there's a huge opportunity cost. Let's actually go back to the beginning of when I started my journey into cryptocurrency. I started with roughly $1,250 in cryptocurrency. That got me just about 2 Bitcoin at the time. So if I had the hold mentality, then I would have those same 2 Bitcoin and I would have just held them until now, and I'd only still have 2 Bitcoin. I could have put that in, let's say Ethereum or Litecoin or any cryptocurrency, but if I just hold it and expect to hold it for several years, then I'm going to miss out on several other opportunities because the charts are always fluctuating. I'm a big advocate of taking profits, compounding your gains, and rolling them into a next play. So if we take a look at the TRON chart here, we'll see that TRON made a huge run in late 2017, early 2018. It increased about 5,000% in price. So if I was able to get in TRON right when it launched back in November, end of October, and I was holding, that's fine. What I would encourage you to do is take profits on the parabolic move. So when you start to see TRON really get going here and just absolutely go crazy, we saw this slow steady uptrend right here, some consolidation, and then we just saw green, 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 and then massive green candle. So when we see that huge parabolic move, that's a good sign to take profits. Now a lot of people are still in TRON and a lot of people never lock them in. A lot of people were holding TRON and they continued to hold it all the way back down because they were greedy, or they were thinking, oh, I'm just going to buy and hold this for the next 3 years or even the next year. I don't think that's the best mentality, especially when you're trying to grow your small account. Because if you would have taken profits right here, you would have locked in, say, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000% gains, you would have been then able to roll those over into something else that hasn't made as many gains yet. If you have the hold mentality, you would have ended up holding this all the way down, came right back down, potentially to where you bought it, or you could even be at a loss, and then you're just sitting there holding it while it's not really doing anything on the charts. So let's go over to the next chart. We got Strat here, and this one made a similar type move, except this made about a 6,000 to 7,000% move over the course of 4 months. So again, the hold mentality. Yes, it's great. I encourage you guys to get in, try and get in at the bottom, find these coins that are at their lowest support points, and hold them. But when they make these huge parabolic spikes, you have to take profits, because if you have that hold mentality of, oh, I'm just going to hold this for a year, I'm just going to hold this for 3 years, it doesn't make sense to me because you're going to be missing out on a huge opportunity. It's important for you to keep monitoring your cryptocurrency portfolio because you need to be aware of what's going on at least every few weeks or even every month. Because when you see these huge parabolic moves, it's important to take profits. Otherwise, you're going to end up riding this all the way back down. There's actually somebody, and I won't mention any names, but he's in the crypto traders community. And this guy actually bought Strat in June 2017. And if we look back on the chart here, June 2017 was right here. Quite arguably the worst time to buy into Strat. But he said, yeah, I bought into Strat and I've just been holding because I think it's going to be a good play in the next 3 years. I said, well, that doesn't make sense because if we pull up the chart here, we see that Strat has been absolutely slaughtered ever since you bought it. So you've lost an enormous investment just by holding this coin, hoping that it returns to its previous value, which it might, and I think it very well could, but who knows when that will be. And there's a massive opportunity cost because you're stuck holding while this position is just decreasing in value over time. So right now, from when he bought it, it's still down about 77% from June 2017, which is pretty bad. It's going to need to increase quite a bit to get back up there. Roughly 300 to 400% it's going to need to go back up in order for him to even break even on his investment. And he's been holding this position for almost a year now, and he hasn't been able to make any other plays because he's just been stuck holding this one, and he has, oh, I don't want to take a loss. Well, that I also agree that's a terrible mentality. But let's go over to the next chart. Here's another one that did well in 2017. This is Waves. It had a very similar type move to Strat. From March 2017 to June 2017, this one made a 2,000% increase in price. So not as crazy as Strat, but it's still pretty ridiculous. So yes, I agree. If you bought in here and held for those 3 months, for those 4 months, you would have made an enormous amount of profit. And that's generally what I look to hold for. I'm not looking at these coins to hold them necessarily for years and years and years because we really don't know what's going to happen. And I know these coins aren't just going to go straight up for the next few years. They're going to have their bumps along the way. So it's always a good idea to lock in those profits, and you could always return later. You could always buy back in lower, but it's very smart to always just lock in your profits and just continuously build your account over time. And if you look at Waves, Waves is another one. If you go back to June 2017, it's currently down about 67% from that price point. And who knows if it's ever going to get back up there. It certainly can, but we really don't know when that's going to be. And if you've just been stuck holding since then with that, oh, I'm just going to hold for 3 to 5 years mentality, that's not the best way to grow your account. It certainly is a potential strategy as an investment or as an investor. You could just buy and forget about it for several years. It would have worked well with Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ripple. Some coins, it's really not going to work out. And I think they're just going to end up going down and never returning to their values because there's a lot of coins out there that I don't think are really going to make it in the long run. And let's go to this other example, Ripple. This is one that went from under a penny to over $3 in 2017. So yes, if you held from the beginning of 2017 until the end, you would have made a significant amount of profit. But you would have also been holding while Ripple went sideways for about 6 or 7 months, which again is a huge opportunity cost because you could have been in other plays that were actually doing very well during that time. From March 2017 until December 2017, Ripple was just bouncing between 20 cents or 15 cents and 26 cents. So this could have been a good opportunity to do some maybe short-term trading, but for the holders out there, it was really a boring time. It was just watching your investment go up and down a little bit between the two levels, but it wasn't really doing too much. But you're right, if you would have held this coin for the entire year or even just got in, I mean, the smart money was getting in right before it took off. So in December, this is actually when I got in. I didn't even get in at the bottom. I was able to get Ripple right here when it was breaking out for the second time. So I got in around 80 cents. I wrote it up to $3, and this was a huge trade for me personally. But I wasn't stuck holding this for several months waiting for something to happen. I was going in and out of other plays, making my money, compounding my gains, and rolling them over into the next hot play. That is the most efficient way to build your cryptocurrency trading account. But it's not the only way, and it's certainly possible to build your account by just holding and holding and holding. But if you're really looking to be a trader and you want to be a successful trader, then the hold mentality I don't think is a good one. So I don't want you guys to bash me saying that I'm just a short-term trader or I'm just a day trader, because I'm not. I do hold. Generally my positions last for a few months at a time, but I'm not looking to necessarily hold these positions for years and years and years, especially as the smaller cap coins. They're going to have their pumps, then they're going to dump, they're going to consolidate, there's going to be other opportunities. It's not just one coin that's going to become successful and rule them all. There's going to be several opportunities, several coins that make 10x or 100x gains over the next couple years. So I hope you guys understand that I'm really not trying to bash the holders out there. I just really don't see this as the most intelligent strategy if you're looking to build your account quickly. There really is a difference between swing trading and holding. I would say holding, the hold mentality of just holding for at least a year or 2, 3 years, I don't think that's necessarily the best idea, but my strategy is more revolved around swing trading, where I'm looking to hold for a couple weeks to a couple months to even several months at a time. So let me give you one more example of how I got burned with that hold mentality. Back in early 2017, I invested in BAT. I actually bought about 10,000 basic attention token. This was at the time when it was maybe 20 cents. It wasn't that large of an investment, but it did make up a decent amount of my portfolio at the time. I got into this play and I was thinking, oh, I'm just going to hold this for the next year or 2 years and see what happens, because they already have a working product. I think they solve a real world problem and they have a great team behind them. So how could it fail? What could go wrong? Well, back when I actually invested, it was early 2017. This is on Bittrex. And it just absolutely dropped. Then it started to form this uptrend. It gave me a little bit of hope. It was starting to make this uptrend, starting to form higher lows. I saw there was some resistance up in this level. I noticed every time it got up to this level, it came right back down. But I figured, okay, it's making higher lows. This is an ascending triangle pattern, generally a bullish chart pattern. And I thought it was really going to break out here. And then one day, it just tanked. And instead of cutting my losses and moving on, jumping into another play, or just sitting in Bitcoin, which would have been the smarter play at the time, I had the hold mentality, where I'm just going to hold this no matter what happens, and it'll all work out in the next year or two. Well, I really learned a big lesson here on this play. So I went into this trade and I was telling myself, okay, if it cuts below this trend line, if a candle gets below this trend line, I am no matter what going to sell. But then it actually happened, and I didn't expect it to happen because this is a bullish pattern. 9 times out of 10, this is going to break out and just go bonkers. But it didn't, and this one didn't work out. And instead of being disciplined, I was so wrapped up in the fundamentals of, this is a great project. They have to succeed. They already have a working product. They're an Ethereum token. They have the Mozilla Firefox and JavaScript guy behind them. Like there's all these big things in the making. I did not expect this to fail. I did not expect this trade to go against me. And it did. And what happened was my investment slowly started to dwindle away. It went as low as down 80% from my initial investment. I was just bleeding for months and months and months, watching my holdings in BAT just slowly disappear. And one day, I think it was somewhere in either this green day or this green day, I just decided to cut it and sell it and eat my loss, because I figured, okay, I could always come back to BAT. It doesn't mean it's a bad project, it was just a bad trade. I think those are pretty wise trading rules to live by. Just because it's a good project doesn't mean it's a good trade. So BAT started to move against me. I didn't react fast enough. I was so laser focused on the fundamentals, I was ignoring the chart and just letting it get to my head. So I watched my investment slowly dwindle away in BAT, and finally I decided to cut it, eat the loss, and I said to myself, okay, I need to reevaluate my strategy and stop getting so laser focused on the fundamentals in the hold mentality, because I could have been in other plays that were performing well at this time and actually made money, rather than lose my money and watch it dwindle away on BAT. So this is actually one of my worst trades of 2017. I actually lost like 10 or 20,000 on this play. It's not my worst trade to date. I actually had a way worse one after that. But this was a good lesson for me to learn. And I'm glad this actually happened, because since then, I was able to capture BAT early over here, play this move, and I've been in BAT again over here and play this move. So there's been 2 other opportunities on BAT where I've made way more on it than I actually lost on this play. But if I was adhering to my stop loss and just playing the chart instead of having that hold until 2 years from now and see what happens, I would have maybe lost 10% on this play. I could have rolled those funds over into something else that would have possibly been more profitable at the time. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. I hope you understand that I'm really not trying to bash the holders out there. I am a long-term investor, but I've also built up my portfolio over time where I'm comfortable using that strategy a little bit more. When I had a small account, I really don't think this is the best strategy if you're looking to grow it quickly. Yes, over time your account can grow substantially holding, But there is a massive opportunity cost holding positions similar to BAT that just bleed your portfolio for months and months and months, and you're never really sure if those are ever going to come back. And even if they do come back, having an entry all the way up here, it only got right back up here before it headed south again. So best case scenario, I would have held this position, watched it dwindle away, watch it come back, and I sell for a break even. And then I just wasted from September until January holding a position only to break even. That is a massive opportunity cost, and I really think you guys need to take that into consideration with the hold mentality. So I hope you're able to take something away from this video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like. It really helps the channel. Drop a comment if you guys agree with me or even if you disagree with me. I love having discussion and I love hearing other people's opinions. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I also welcome you to join our Facebook group. That is where we're active every single day having discussion on the cryptocurrency markets. If you're interested in joining the Crypto Traders Pro community, I encourage you to go over to CryptoTradersPro.com, and you'll be working alongside me, Kurt, and 200 other traders in the community every day, working together in the markets. That's all I got for you guys today. This is Matthew again with Crypto Traders Pro, and we'll see you on the moon.